Hello, welcome to your Yoga Foundations practice. My name is Ari, just in case we've never met before. Now, in today's practice, we are going to understand triangle pose. Triangle is a very complex posture. There's lots of things happening that are very important to understand. So I'm going to break down all the little details that you need to know in order to do triangle effectively. And it might be helpful to have blocks for this experience or something that you could use like a block, okay? So bringing the floor closer to you will be definitely make it easier. If you don't have a block, don't worry, I'll show you what you can do without it, okay? So triangle is very grounding, accesses power in the legs, so it energizes the legs. It also opens the hips. It also works your spine, so it sends lots of energy through your spine, and it also opens up the shoulders and chest. So there's a lot going on. So grounding and expanding at the same time. There's a feeling that when you do triangle pose, it's as if you could fill up the whole room where you are. So that's kind of the feeling behind it. So triangle pose, if you do have any injuries going on in your hips or you've got something going on in your inner groins or your back, just take it easy, okay? But I want you to just understand some of the key actions that are really important. Let's get started. Find a comfortable seat, and if you can, sit on your heels. If you need to sit on one of your blocks or a cushion, just do that. But if you can, on your heels. Rest your hands on your thighs, close your eyes, and start to tune in to your breath. Remembering that your breath is the most important part of your experience. It's in a calm breath is where the mind also calms. Breathing in and out of the nose if you can for the whole practice. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Just take a moment to connect with your center and set a focus or an intention. What are you working on in your life right now? How can the practice help you evolve or change or just feel a little bit better? Once you've done that, gently open your eyes. I want you to bring your hands on your hips. So feel for where your frontal pelvic bones are. Just at the front of your pelvis, you can dig around and feel these bones. Now understand that your pelvis swings forwards and backwards. It lifts up at the front. It can also tilt back and you get a big curve in your lower back. And you can see it from the side when I do that. The belly sticks out, the bum sticks out, or it can tuck under and you round this way. So find the bit that's in the middle. So you're not sticking your bum out, but you're also not tucking under and curving this way. So all you need to do is lift your pelvic bones up towards your lower ribs. So in a way, it's like you're shortening the distance between your pelvis and your lower ribs just a little bit. The lower back wants to be very flat. And if you can imagine that your navel, your belly button's drawing back in towards your spine and you're filling this kidney area in your lower back. From there, shoulders down, crown of the head extending away from your tailbone. So you're imagining a long line. Okay, now with that understanding, come forwards into a tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Now, if you lost it already, you're going to feel that the bum's sticking out and the belly's dipping towards the floor. It's like you're going to the cow pose, but you're not. And we don't want the tailbone to tuck under because then you'll be heading to cat pose and we don't want to do that yet. I want you to understand neutral. So understanding neutral is important for triangle. So draw the belly into the spine, fill the area of your kidneys at your lower back, slide your shoulders down towards your hips and extend the crown of your head forwards. So there's neutral. Now you can let your belly dip, stick your bum out, feel how that's changed your pelvis, lift your heart up, inhale there. Now tuck under your tailbone, draw the belly in, round your spine in the cat, exhale there. So notice the exaggeration of both shifts of the pelvis. Inhale, belly dips, heart forwards and up. Exhale, tailbone tucks under, round the spine, chin to chest. Again, inhale, belly dips, heart forwards and up. And then exhale, spine rounds, chin to chest. Now find that neutral position again, which is neither the cat nor the cow. Find your neutral center. Tuck under your right toes and then extend your right leg straight back. And I want you to drive your heel away from your head. Imagine a big long line of energy reaching through the crown of the head and back through your heel. Now all you need to do is spin that right heel down to the left, and I want you to press into the outer edge of your right foot. Notice your left hand's below your left shoulder, your left knee's below your left hip. If you feel a little unsteady, just kickstand your left foot out a little bit to the left. You can do that. But eventually left hand, left knee, left foot, right heel is in one line. Now lift your right arm up. This is a great place to learn triangle. Now, make sure you're pressing into the outer edge of that right foot. Your arch of your right foot's lifted. Now, you're going to take your right hand to your lower rib cage, your left rib cage. Now, I want you to spiral your torso open to the right. So you're just spiraling your chest, your torso open. Keep that left shoulder moving down and spin that left bicep forwards. Now take your right hand to your upper rib cage. A lot of the time people get excited in this upper rib cage, so I want your hand to press your ribs down. So when your upper rib cage moves down into the body, see how it extends more energy through your spine. Now remember, lifting the pelvis up towards your lower ribs, making that neutral spine, it will lengthen your tailbone towards your right heel. From there, lift your right arm up. This is like a mini triangle. Slide the shoulders down, extend through the crown. You can look up at your top hand, but not if it makes you fall over or if it hurts your neck. Now from here, just reach your right arm diagonal, palm will face down, then look down, circle your hand down, lower your right knee, you're back in the table. Let's do the other side. Tuck under your left toes, extend your left leg straight back. First, wake up those opposite lines of energy. Now I'll show you all from this way, so you'll see my back. You're going to spin your left heel down to the right, press into the outer edge of that left foot. If you need to kickstand your right foot out, it's okay, but eventually right hand below right shoulder in line with the right knee, right foot and left heel. From there, you're going to raise your left arm up. So it's like a modified side plank, but today it's our mini triangle. Now take your left hand to your right rib cage. So left hand to lower rib cage. Spiral your torso open to the left. Make sure that right shoulder didn't poke forwards. Move it down your back. The right bicep wraps forwards, tricep back. That's a strong arm. Now take your top hand to your top rib cage. Remember, move your rib cage down so you lengthen through the sides of your torso. Now remember, tailbone moves down towards your left heel because the pelvis is lifting up. Once you have all that, left hand to the sky, extend the crown of the head away from the tail. Imagine you're taking up space. Imagine you're filling the room. Keep pressing into outer edge of left foot as you reach left arm diagonally forwards. The palm can now face down. The shoulders keep sliding down. Then look down, circle your hand down, lower your left knee. So in a way, you're practically understanding triangle already, and we haven't even done it. Sit your bum back on your heels, take a child's pose, separate your knees. Now, imagine that your rib cage could glide a little closer towards your hands, but you're sitting your bum down heavy on your heels. Now see if the crown of the head can reach towards that space between your hands. See if your arms can stay strong with your palms pressing down into the floor so your elbows and forearms aren't touching. Now, shift forwards table, inhale, tuck under your toes. Downward dog, exhale. So downward dog in a way is a similar type triangle shape, kind of like a pyramid. The hips up and back, the heels down. The weight's not all the way in the hands or all the way in the feet, it's somewhere in the middle. There's a feeling that you're hugging energy to the center, but also expanding from center, similar to triangle. From here, walk your feet up between your hands and get blocks if you need to, or bring your hands on your shins, feet together, find a halfway lift, lengthen and extend, and then fold, exhale. Let's go again. Inhale, halfway lift. Can you lift your quads, lengthen the back of your neck, and then fold, exhale. One more, halfway lift, and then fold, exhale. This time, halfway lift, inhale. Bring your hands on your hips as you exhale. Pull your belly in. Press into your feet. Inhale, lift up the head. Now remember, you're tilting your pelvis up so the tailbone moves down, but you're not tucking under. It's a lengthening down of your bum to your heels. Tadasana, arms down by your sides. Now from here, I'm going to mirror you. Ground into your right foot. Lift your left knee and interlace the fingers around your left shin. So we're working with a bit of balance like we've done before. Now just hold your left knee with your left hand, bring your right hand to your right hip, and I want you to open that left knee out like you're opening a gate. I just want to stretch out your inner leg a little bit. Stand tall, balance, energize the left leg. And then slowly bring that left leg back to center, hug it in a little taller, one breath in, and then lower your left foot down. Okay, now you're going to switch sides. So ground into your left leg now. Balance on your left foot. Lift your right knee into your chest and interlace the fingers around your right shin. Shoulders down. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Energize through your left leg and open that right leg out to the right like you're opening a gate. Just feel that light stretch in your inner leg. Hug the outer left hip in, pull to center, lift up, stand tall. And then slowly bring your right leg back to center. Interlace the fingers, hug it on one breath in. And then exhale, lower your right foot down. Okay, now inhale your arms up, tailbone down. Exhale, dive and fold, take your hands down to the floor. Find your halfway lift, inhale, lengthen and extend. Step your left foot back and bend your right leg. Now lower your left heel down to the right and make sure your left foot's turned in, your right hip is hugging in. Now you're going to come to a brief warrior two and I want you to see it from the back. So a brief warrior two, I've been through the warrior poses before, but the idea of the tailbone lengthening down is happening here. Make sure your right knee hasn't collapsed in, your left leg's strong, and then find your arms at equal height, shoulders down. Now from here, it's almost like a mini triangle as well. Take your right arm rested on your right thigh, palm faces up in your right hand. Take your left hand to your lower rib cage. Get that action of spiraling your torso open to the left. Make sure that right shoulder, remember it hasn't poked forwards, move it back. Now raise your left arm straight up. Now remember, if that upper rib cage got excited, all you need to do is put the left hand down on the left rib cage, move it down so you get more length. Remember, the tailbone is lengthening towards your left heel. So try to take the belly button to fill the area of your kidneys. Now reach your left arm diagonally forwards. Have a big side stretch. Look down. Circle your left hand down, lift your back heel, take your right hand down, fingertips or blocks, step your left foot forwards. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen, and then fold, exhale. Halfway lift again, inhale. Now step your right foot back as you exhale, bend your left leg, lower your right heel. Remember, your right foot's turned in on a slight diagonal. Come up to warrior two, pressing into your left foot. Now you'll see it from the front. The pelvic bones are in one line like you're wearing a belt, working towards that. Pelvis lifts up towards lower ribs, same action, tailbone down. Left knee hasn't collapsed, right leg strong. Arms at equal height. Then we rest the left arm on the left thigh, the palm faces up, the left shoulder didn't move forwards. Take your right arm up. Now you're going to take that right hand to your lower rib cage. I want you to understand the action. Spiraling your torso open to the right. Maybe the right hand to the upper rib cage moves it down. Then take your right arm back up. Remember, the pelvis lifts up at the front, so think of filling the area of your kidneys again. Then reach the right arm diagonally forwards. Maybe look slightly under the arm. Extended side angle variation. Now look down, circle your right hand down, lift your back heel, take your left hand down, step your right foot forwards next to your left. Halfway lift, lengthen and extend. And then fold, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up now. Tailbone down again, pelvis up, energy up. Then bring your hands to your heart. Take another breath in. And then Tadasana, exhale. Okay, now all you need to do is take a big step out to the side. So whichever leg you choose, as long as you can see what's happening. Now turn your feet facing forwards and make sure your heels are in one line. I like to go on the edge of the mat so I know they're exactly in one line. I want to just warm into your hamstrings and your inner legs a bit before we get to triangle. Now bring your hands on your hips again. Feel those pelvic bones, gently lift them up again. Inhale, now lengthen your spine. Exhale, extend the crown of the head forwards as you fold, taking the top of the head down. Now if this is a lot, soften your legs. You can take your hands down into blocks or on the floor. So depending on how tight your hamstrings are, you're going to make it work for you. Now can you feel the stretch down the back of your legs? Maybe a bit in your inner legs. Now I'll mirror you. With an exhale, start to bend your left leg just as best you can. Feel that stretch in your inner right leg. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, bend your right leg. Feel that stretch in your inner left leg. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, bend your left, maybe a little deeper. Inhale, straighten the left. Exhale, bend the right, maybe a little deeper. One more each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend the right. Inhale, center, lengthen the spine like a halfway lift. Exhale, hands on hips, press into the feet. Inhale, lift your head and chest, come up. Then just step your feet together. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Take a breath in. And then exhale, arms by the sides. Okay, now if you had blocks, what you're going to do is you're going to place a block at one end of your mat and then one block on the other end. So they're all on the back end of your mat, okay? So now we're going to step into triangle, very hatha style. Now, bring your hands in front of your heart, take an inhale. As you exhale, step your right foot out and then you're going to turn your left foot in. So we're basically in the forward fold position that we're in before. Now, what you're going to do, bring your hands on your hips, turn your right foot out, or if you need to mirror me, just do that. So the back foot can turn out. Now, make sure that the other foot is turned in slightly. So it's not directly facing the front this time, it's turned in. And I want you to lift the arch of the back foot. And in fact, you can lift the arch of the front foot as well. Now, try to lift the pelvis here a little bit, just a little bit. Now, the idea is shift your right hip or your front hip, which is the foot facing forwards, shift it back towards your back leg or your inner thigh of your back leg. Can you feel that stretch right up in the inner leg, up around the hamstring? I definitely can. Now, can you lift the quads? So make it a little bit more active. Now, take your right hand either down on your shin. That could be a lot for a lot of you. So shin or knee. Or if you need to, just bend your leg, get the block, and place the block next to your heel and straighten your leg again. So the block high setting probably is a good place to start. Now, take your left hand to your lower rib cage like we did before. You're going to spiral your lower rib cage open to the side. So I'm opening up my chest towards the left. Remember, the shoulders move down the body. Now take your left hand to your upper rib cage, move it down. So remember, we're moving the rib cage into the body to get length through the sides of the torso. Now remember the important bit. The pelvic bones lift up towards the lower ribs. The tailbone lengthens towards your back heel. Then you raise the left arm up. So can you extend by drawing that right front hip back to the back inner thigh, crown of the head extending away from your tailbone, reach the top hand away from the bottom hand. Remember, take up space. Draw the navel back to the spine. Fill up that space in your lower back. Now keep extending through the top arm. Press actively into that front foot. Now when you're ready, lift all the way back up. Bring your hands on your hips. Turn your back foot in. Now turn the other foot forwards. Okay, so now make sure that the back foot, which is now my right foot, is turned in on a slight diagonal and the arch is lifted. The front foot, the arch is lifted as well. That's going to make sure my knee's not rolling in. I went all over that in the lesson, all about finding your feet. So have a look at that if you missed it. Now, the left hand's on the left hip. I want to shift the hips. So it is very much all about that left hip moving back, and I can straight away feel what's happening in the hamstring inner leg area, in the adductors. So get a sense of that. Place your left hand either towards your left shin. Try to keep the right shoulder stacked for now. Or if you're using the block, look down, just bend your leg, get the block, make it on the high setting or whichever setting you need, and make sure it's below your shoulder. So you're looking for that alignment of hand below shoulder. Now take that right hand to the lower rib cage, spiral it open to the right. Remember these actions. Top hand to top rib cage moves the rib cage down so you get long. Now remember, pelvis lifts up towards lower ribs, tailbone lengthens back, draw the belly into the spine, move the ribs into the spine. Think of stacking that right shoulder on top of your left, or top shoulder on top of the bottom. Take up space. Can you imagine filling the room? Can you pull in through the feet, lift energy through your legs, and then move it through your spine, through the crown? Don't forget to breathe. Now really energize through the top arm, ground into the bottom foot, and then slowly lift back up. Turn the front foot in again. Now step your feet together, bring your hands in front of your heart. Take another breath in. And then exhale, arms by your sides, Tadasana. Okay, so now we've got a good understanding and we're feeling a bit more warmed up. We're going to flow into it. It's just going to be a very gentle flow into it, but you'll now have the understanding of building it from the ground up. Okay, and I'll keep the blocks as they are so you can see me just from both ways. Okay, Tadasana, mountain pose. Bring the hands in front of the heart. Take an inhale. Then as you exhale, release your hands down by your sides. Inhale, lift your arms up, tailbone down. Exhale, dive and fold, taking the hands down towards the floor. Find a halfway lift, inhale. Let's step the right foot back as you exhale, bend your left leg. Now lower your right heel to the left. Remember the back foot's turned in. Get your block, place it next to your left foot, if it's not there already. Now I want you to start to straighten your left leg as best you can. And remember, move that left hip to your inner right leg. Now take your bottom hand to your bottom rib cage, spiral it open to the side. Take the top hand to the top rib cage, move it down. Tailbone lengthens back, belly in, top arm up. Triangle pose. Shoulders down, extend and reach. Take up space. Reach the top arm diagonally forwards now. Feels different. Now look down, bend your bottom leg, circle your hand down. Step your right foot forwards. Inhale, lengthen and extend. And then exhale, fold. I'll face this way. Halfway lift again, inhale. Now step your left foot back as you exhale. Bend your right leg. Drop your back heel. Get the block next to your right foot. Now you're going to start to straighten your right leg as best you can. The leg distance or the feet distance is basically one leg, so it's about there. Now take your bottom hand to your bottom rib cage, spiral your torso open to the side. Top hand moves to top rib cage, moves down to get longer through the sides of the torso. Remember the super important bit, pelvis lifts up, belly draws in, tailbone lengthens back. Once you've got these actions, raise the top arm up. Now can you pull in through the legs, lift up through the quads? Keep extending, keep reaching, keep breathing. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Now start to reach that top arm diagonally forwards. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Now look down. Circle your hand down as you bend your right leg, lift your back heel. Step your left foot forwards next to your right. Halfway lift, lengthen and extend. And then fold, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, tailbone down, energy up. And then bring your hands to your heart. Take another breath in. Then as you exhale, release your hands down. So we've got a good understanding of triangle. While you're nice and warmed up in your inner legs, let's do tree pose. So I'll mirror you, ground into your right foot, bend your left leg and place your left foot on your inner right thigh or below your knee. So above or below the knee, but not on the knee. Hands on hips, just get those pelvic bones level. Hug the right hip into center, hug the left knee into center. Tailbone down, remember that action of lifting the pelvis. Hands in front of the heart. Get a sense of pulling energy into the center and then extending it out. If you feel good, you could raise your arms up. It's just an option. Vrikshasana, tree pose. So working with that balance, working with that presence, taking up space. Take an inhale here. When you're ready to exhale, you'll just start to lower your hands and then you'll lower your left foot. Okay, ground into your left foot now. Bring your hands on your hips. Lift your right leg and then reach a hold of the right ankle or shin and place your foot above or below the knee. It's pretty tricky when you've got clothes, I find. I always like to use skin there. Now, open that right leg like you're opening a gate. Hug that left hip in and then pull into center like you did with triangle. Now remember, like you did with triangle, you lift it up through the pelvis, the tailbone lengthen down, and you bring your hands in front of your heart. You focus on a spot that doesn't move. If you did it on the other side, you might slowly lift your arms up. Vrikshasana, tree. Steady. It's okay, trees wobble in the breeze. That's what they do. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, gently release your hand, gently release your right foot. Come back to center. Okay, let's flow down to the floor. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, take your hands down and fold. Feel that stretch in the back of your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back to plank now as you exhale. Now inhale, shift forwards. You can lower the knees. Slowly bend your arms. Exhale, hover your chest off the floor. Lower your hips, untuck the toes. Cobra, inhale. Child's pose, exhale. Set your bum on your heels. Stretch the rib cage towards the hands, the top of the head towards the hands again. Just settle. And then slowly walk your hands back towards your knees. Roll up. Lean off to one side. And then extend your legs. Okay. Now that we've opened up the inner legs a little bit, let's do Baddha Konasana or court angle pose. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. Now it's a little easier if you take your feet further forwards, but feel free to bring your legs a little closer. This has always been a tough one for me. Hold onto your feet if you can, and if you can't, you just put your hands behind you in the floor or blocks and you lift your chest and you try to move the legs down. I've seen some people have their legs all the way down. I don't know how they do it. If you're holding your feet, I want you to start to project your chest forwards and see if you can now take your chin and chest somewhere towards the floor. I've also seen people put their noses in the floor and their chin in the floor. I don't know how it happens. This is what we've got. Breathe. One more breath. And then slowly lift up and then bring your legs back together. Now, place your feet down flat. Make sure they're about hip distance now, and then just slowly come onto your back. Get one of your blocks, press into your feet, lift your hips, and just put a block under your tailbone sacrum area. It can be middle to high setting, whatever works for you. If you don't have blocks, just use cushions, or you could also just interlace the hands under you. But just feel that the tailbone's lengthening towards the back of the knee, so your lower back is fairly flat. Let the weight rest down on the block. Just take a moment there. Breathe. Now you can press into your feet slowly. Lift your hips off the block. Move the block out of the way and then roll your spine down slowly. When you get your spine down, bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide. So Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta means reclining. Baddha means court, and Konasana is angle. So basically feet together, knees wide. You've got that stretch in your inner legs again, like we had with triangle. Left hand on the heart, right hand on the belly. Just let it settle. Relax. Now take your arms out by the sides in a T or bend at your elbows and just let the left leg drop on top of the right, somewhere close to there. We're going to take a twist. Triangle does a bit of work in the spine as well, so let's just twist out the spine, breathe away any last little bits of tension. And then slowly center and take your right knee over to your left. Let's breathe into this right side now. Smooth, calm breaths. And then you'll slowly come back to center. Just give your knees a little hug into the chest. And as an option, take your chest towards your thighs. Curl into a ball. Feel how you've just switched on your core and really pressed your lower back in the floor. And then Shavasana, the final pose. Relax your head and shoulders. Extend your heels away from your head. Now, if ever you get to Shavasana, this final pose, and your lower back just needs a bit of support, what you do is you place those blocks behind your thighs, so above your knees but below your bum, and then you let your legs rest on the blocks or on your cushions. And that takes off some of the pressure of the lower back. Now remember, the lesson of today on our journey to triangle was understanding that subtle lift of the pelvis so the tailbone can lengthen towards the heels. Just recreate that here one last time, so you're imagining the lower back fairly flat in the mat. And then just let everything relax. Let your palms face the sky. The shoulders, they just move away from your ears, and you can extend the crown of the head away from your feet. Feel what triangle pose cultivated in your practice today. How do your legs feel? How do your hips feel? What about the muscles in your inner legs, those adductors? How is your spine? Triangle pose is meant to be lower back therapy. So understanding this action of the pelvis helps create space in the lower back, and drawing the navel to the spine in triangle helps that support as well. Find that spaciousness around your chest, your shoulders. Just let everything rest now and relax. Shavasana. Take a nice deep breath, and you can just let everything go with your exhale. soaking up all the beautiful changes into your body. You can start to bring some movement to your toes, fingers, ankles, wrists. Maybe take it to a bigger, fuller body stretch. Then you can roll to your side. Just rest your head on your arm like a pillow. And then slowly make your way up to a seated position. Either sit on your blocks, sit on your cushions, whatever's comfortable for you, but sit tall. Remind yourself one last time to lift your pelvis up at the front, to lengthen your tailbone down. Now lift that energy up the sides of the torso, the sides of the neck and the crown of the head. Like you did in triangle, you feel that expansiveness. The hands come in front of the heart. Again, just notice what you cultivated and honor the effort you made to step on your mat. Paying attention to these finer details of your practice and paying attention to your body and giving it what it needs. Always honoring that effort. Now bow your head to your heart in honor of this practice and everything that it teaches. Namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Foundations practice all about triangle pose. I hope you've got a lot out of that, and I'll see you soon.